Hello everyone, and today's video we'll be having a look at the temperatures. We'll also have a look at the maximum temperatures today as of right now, and also we'll have a look at the above average temperatures, which will start to again lift as we get more sunshine to end June, which will be again another possible heat wave. We'll see this continue to be like this, but we can just look at the patterns today, what the runs are saying from the GFS, GEM, and ECMWF run. Now let's start today's video with the maximum temperatures today. It was quite a hot day for some, with temperatures peaking around 26 to 27 degrees for the south. Isolated, I know we did hit 29 degrees in a place today, but around that East Anglia or that London area will feel quite pleasant or hot today for some. Now, for the north, it will be a chillier day. Some places struggling to get above 10 degrees, so really surprising again. But again, as we move into nighttime, those temperatures take a bit while to fade. Around, I would say even 5 o'clock, is still up to the high teens. So again, a very hot night again for some. Now let's move on to tomorrow. Those temperatures will be focused and confined across East Anglia, England, and also some parts of Midlands as well, and Northern England. But other than that, you will have to miss out for the day where we are seeing those light orange patches there. But still, anywhere else you are, except for really those Scotland mountains, it will feel pleasant and mild, even though, again, if you're not up into the 25-26 region, you'll still be feeling quite good with that sunshine tomorrow. Now, tomorrow into Wednesday, you can currently see onto Thursday now, actually, sorry. Now, you can see that onto 27 degrees for northern East Anglia, and to specifically point out the location, northwestern East Anglia, and also northeastern England. And also really you can see there is a contrast between the temperatures on the west and the east. The reason for that is because we've got front. If you look at this, the west side of the UK stays down towards the teens, while the eastern side of the UK stays up towards 27-28 degrees, especially if you're exposed. So that contrast there really highlight that strength of that front. Fortunately, we're not going to look at the precipitation today, but I do want to focus mainly on temperature today, temperature-wise. But tomorrow into Friday, not tomorrow, I keep saying that, but onto Friday, those temperatures will still hang up to 25-26 degrees, where again is a bit hotter than we expect for the time of year, but it will be feeling pleasant, even though if you're into the 20s, I would say start to feel pleasant. For the north again, for Scotland, as it is high altitude, it will be around 10 degrees, but lower on the mountains, it will be much warmer. And as we head into Saturday, we could see a major heat wave starting up with this, with temperatures again up towards the high 20s, possibly even exceeding 30 degrees. So we might have to look into this detail tomorrow, or I might have to do a deep dive about this someday into the week or something like that, but that might not happen, as we have to look into other aspects as well, like cloud amounts, UV level, and also the pollen level, because pollen level temperatures mix them together, you get chaos. So, and also we have to look at the rain as well, as those rain can drastically drain those temperatures a lot, especially if in those hot regions. And if it's a cumulonimbus cloud, it could really set off by a few degrees lower. Now let's move on to today's maximum temperatures. By 29 degrees again by Lakenheath Royal Air Force Base, 28 degrees by Meadenhall Air Force Base, 28 degrees again by Wittering, 27.3 in Marham, 27.1 in Wittering, and 27 degrees in Marham. These are multiple weather stations, that's why it's repeating. But the lowest one here is 26 degrees by Benson. But we do still see the capital city on here, which is on 26.5 degrees today. It did get that hot today. Did not realize it would get this hot today. Yesterday the runs were showing only 24-25 degrees, but turns out it's much hotter than that. Even I didn't suspect it would get that hot, but turns out it did. Some runs do sometimes get it wrong, so I'm not sure if some of these are accurate or not. But again, some of these runs do last minute changes. So if we see, I would say around 24 hours, sometimes it can still be a tiny bit inaccurate between other weather models. But it is what it is. Weather do come in like that sometimes with the runs not doing what they're supposed to. But with the Wix charts today, you can currently see the temperature anomaly is currently warmer than usual, indicated by the orange-red colours down towards England. For the north, it will be again that light blue where it's lingering across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland. Now moving on further into the week, into Thursday, a brief cold front. This is where we see that from the GFS. This front here, again, the western part of the UK is going to be colder, while the eastern part of the UK is going to be warmer. And we can see this by the blue color indicating on the left, and orange color indicated on the right. Now, as we skip further ahead, milder air do take over again. This is where we could see a chance of heat wave. It does for a bit of while, but look at France. France is completely in that brown zone right there. So we could as well see major heat wave to see that moving in. But cold air do move in for a brief time after that to bring some more refreshing conditions, and the low pressure helps with it. But then look at this, we develop a northerly breeze, and then what happens after that? We get colder air. Low pressure is trying to spin up milder air again, but can't go that far. 384 hours ahead, that's how far I can go with the runs. But with ANJ temperature anomaly, the ECMWF chart you can currently see again is indicating mild air for the south. That weather front moving in onto Thursday, that contrast in temperatures moving in, a blast from the south moving in, could see a major heat wave again, and then continuing that red color, even that brownish color touching towards the coast of the UK, which could, if we see that move a few hundred miles north, it could take over the whole UK. And actually, looking at the two mean temperature anomaly, it is going to be hot for this actually. And for this, we'll actually look at those two mean temperatures actually indicated on there, which again does look something promising, with temperatures up towards the 30s or even higher in some localized location. Warmest day looks like it's going to be around Monday, with the maximum temperatures peaking up to 34 degrees. Now we'll move on to England and Wales. We see a deeper look into this. You can see inside that London area is where we get all the buildings. It traps all the heat, and then we get like 30 degrees. This chart right here, we get actually 31 to be honest, with this thing right here showing maximum to 31 degrees on Monday. Tuesday, a bit warmer, 33 degrees, but that's not on the UK. That's actually on the bottom right-hand side of the screen by France there, so that's wrong. It has to be the UK, not France. But again, we're talking about on Sunday and to Monday, where we could see a peak of that and could potentially be another wave of heat wave. But we'll go through the GFS run now. You can see currently high pressure is dominating the weather again. Low pressure is spinning up that milder air from the south there, from the Atlantic. And the high pressure briefly dominates before, again, shown by the Wix charts previously, low pressure comes in and brings cooler air. And then look what we get. We get a northerly breeze, and by the time the temperature deviation will be cooler than average temporarily before mild air from high pressure moves back in. And as we continue this now, another low pressure from the Atlantic it's a cutoff this time, so it's not developed by the jet stream. Instead it's a cutoff low, which could again develop come in with the UK. We do see this coming in any further eastwards, sorry. But from this, you can currently see still high pressure is moving in, trying really hard to move in from most model runs. But with the GM chart, we haven't looked at with the Wix chart because it doesn't support it. But now with the GM chart, again, very similar. We get that southerly Atlantic breeze where we drive in around 2 to 4 degrees above average. But as we continue now, you can currently see high pressure is just to our south there, which could bring a swell of settled weather, especially for the south. For the north, low pressure, which this could mean more weather fronts moving in and also more rain, more precipitation, all that. But for the south, high pressure clings on towards the nearby continent, which could see dry weather. And as we continue this now, you can basically see again, we got winds coming from the north, but we've got winds coming from the south in that kind of area here in I'll say central to Eastern Europe, which as well could, if we see that shift a bit westwards, we could see that move in. High pressure eventually dominates, but this low pressure that we see from the GFS does appear here on the GEM chart, which could signal a certainty where we are getting this low pressure. But to actually confirm all that, we need to look at the ECMWF chart, which is showing again high pressure dominating, and then that wave of southwesterly moving in on there, and the high pressure continues to dominate. We get this low pressure spinning up at 168 hours, and continuing high pressure continue to dominate. And this one is the one that we're looking at 276 hours ahead. Sunday, 5th of July, we see that moving in again with the ECMWF as well. But again, don't take this into account yet, as there's a multiple low pressure moving in, so I could get mixed up with some of them. It could be early, it could be late, still don't know. But all the runs are currently saying low pressure, northerly winds with the ECMWF chart, which could bring cooler air for this time of year. Forgot that you can't look at this with the ECMWF. The 0 degree ice of just touches on the UK, and by 7th of July, those temperatures by 12 o'clock, look at that, 20 degrees, not even higher in some places, which is not what we want for the time of year, definitely in the hottest year in the UK. Now, as we continue, high pressure basically dominates for the rest of this, and the low pressure nearby will continue for the north, high pressure towards the south, which could as well see more low pressure, more precipitation for the north, whilst we see high pressure and settled weather for the south. So that's basically summarizes everything in today's video. All of the runs do show that very similar things anyway, low pressure then high pressure. But we could, again, the main topic of this video is the heat wave, so we'll look at that all more tomorrow in detail. But thanks for watching this video, and until the next time, goodbye.